Okay, so we're going to make a fantasy character using shapes. I'm going to just create a new blank slide. While I'm designing it, I'm going to turn it into grey so I can see my colors afterwards. The first thing we want to do is to click the plus and go to animals. We are looking for interesting legs and body parts, and we are combining different animals. If you add, we're going to mask this shape. So we're going to go to basic shapes. I'm going to just take the circle and I'm going to put it on top of the section that I want. Now, if you find this hard to see, you can change the color of the circle. It's not necessary, but you can change the color if you are finding it hard to see in the same color. So what we're going to do is just put the circle on top of the part that you actually want. Then I'm going to hold down with my finger the circle and tap on the animal. Then we're going to go to the paintbrush, arrange, scroll down, and you can see now that you've got the first one which groups them. We want the second icon. There we go. It's taken just the piece that we actually want. And I'm just going to swing it back around. If you want to rotate, that was just by dragging the corner and dragging it across your page. But if you do want to rotate an image, it is actually under Arrange, flip horizontally. Okay, at the top. So now what we're going to do is place that on the back of the animal. So we're already getting an interesting animal. Maybe make that a bit bigger. All right, so now we're going to we can look at other animals. You could look at nature. You're going to find some really, really interesting shapes in nature. You could even use food because there's some great shapes. And if you make a mistake, there's of course a back arrow. So what you're doing is you're just using your creativity to put the pieces together. Now the second part would be to actually trace on top of this. So you can see the one that I've got here. I use plants, I've got the owl, I've got the back of a peacock and a seal. So you can see how the pieces can come together. Then when you're happy with them, you can hold your finger down on one image and select objects. That allows you to tap multiple objects so that way you can select them all. And when you've selected them all, you can click the paintbrush, and if you want to, we can actually group them. Or you can tap in, or I'll give you that option of grouping. There's always multiple places to find it. So here we have our creative animal, very quickly done. Now what I would do is, if you like this as it is, keep it, and then just tap on the slide on the left and copy, tap it again and paste. Then on the pasted one, what we're actually going to do is tap with the pen, choose a pen, any color that you would like your animal to be in. Let's do something bright. And now what we're going to do is trace over the top. You can swipe your tools to the left or right to get them out of the way. And this is where you can make your changes, because we are actually going to delete the image underneath. Then what we do is you just tap on the background, just move it to make sure you've got the right things. Just tap and delete. 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 Now we're left with this interesting character. So what you might want to start with is just filling it with color. So tap with your pen again, click on the paintbrush, choose a color that you would like it to be filled with. Just tap on the areas. Maybe you want a different color. It will fill enclosed shapes. Don't worry, we're going to build up on this. If the tapping is not working, that's because there's a broken line. So your way around that is you can actually just draw in the shape of the ear, connect, and it will fill. So you can draw with the paint bucket and you can tap as long as your shapes are enclosed. Now I'm going to come back, and then this is the fun part. What we're going to do is we can change, check your size. Just tap again to check your size. You can use transparency and opacity, and I'm going to create a eye you're sharing just this character and not doing AR, then we can click outside first, then click the paintbrush, and we can choose a nice gradient for your background. And then this could be used in Seesaw, in students' books. It can also be used in AR as a flat square object, which you will see later. So that's one way to create an interesting, very unique character.